We have a tough pool. We've got St. Mary's, Valley Center, and Wichita Independent. St. Mary's is always a powerhouse in those lower A classifications. We've got Jefferson County North, Clay Center. I mean, just because they're lower class classifications doesn't mean they're not good ball players. So we're going to be challenged this weekend.
We've got 24 out, and we got 4 seniors. Our juniors not a very big class, but we got a lot of freshmen and sophomores out. And the freshmen and sophomores really impressed me. Buying into the weight room this summer, this whole offseason really.
We don't take anybody lightly. And Troy, they won the Sun Belt last year. They had a couple of really, really good seasons. I mean, they're a really good football team. These guys are legit, and we've seen that in the film. Their defense is really stout, really solid. So it'll be a really good challenge.
But some gonna like it, some gonna respect it, and some is gonna dislike it. That's just the way it is. You can't make everybody happy, unfortunately. As much as you try to do it, and much as you try to appease people, you're not gonna make everyone happy. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, and I'm just asking for a raise.
I know he had a little bit of a setback the other day with a minor knee injury. We hope that he'll be able to go tonight. He'll be a game-time decision. But he's somebody who loves to compete, so I wouldn't bet against him being on the field tonight.
Finish this sentence for us. On field, Patrick Mahomes is bad at...
You know that run he does, like in between the huddle? Yeah, sometimes, like on the TV timeouts? It's got to be one of the, I don't know what you call it. That's the guy that runs out there. I don't know who said it about him. He looks like his feet hurt.
The pitch in the dirt, that was almost a wild pitch to win it. They called a balk, and a balk has been called. And the Royals win it on a balk.
Such a good play, we bring him back. Did you do a Royals AA or you call it something else?
I
record over the old one.
I labeled it White Sox.
Okay, all right.
Since the White Sox won.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. That's good. Okay, welcome to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in. It's a Thursday show. Steve Webster, Aaron Clark, Mike Corson, and Mike Hesher here on the program today. Okay, we're jam-packed today. Big ball game tomorrow. How big is it, Aaron?
It's huge.
It's huge. Great Bend Panther football coach Aaron Beck, joined by sophomore Ian Premer and senior Colton Brock. They'll talk about that Great Bend Hayes High game tomorrow night at Lewis Field Stadium. I'll be talking with the voice of the Larned High School Indians and the head of the Western Pawnee County Militia today, Gary Wagner. And Mike Corson will go on the prowl with Great Bend Panthers soccer coach Chewy Loera. Hopefully the guys can get in and not get stuck in the middle of the street out there with that crack seal.
I gave him an alternate route.
See, you're better than me, Coach Beck. I didn't know where to tell him. I just said you might have to park and walk.
I went for lunch, so I knew.
Okay.
If they park in the alley, they'll be in a perfect spot to put their odds on the trash can on the way by.
Yeah, we'll talk about the trash can odds coming up. That'll probably be tomorrow. But do you give them the code to get in the back door?
We just got to have a doorman back there. Me and Corson can rotate in and out.
Okay, so that's what's on the show today. So let's get to it. We have sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Sadie Spray, would you break that down for me? Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Tell me what this means. Because she sounded like a coach. Okay, this is her new role for the Panthers this year.
I still play 6 rotations. I play 3 in the back row as a passer and then 3 in the front row as a hitter. If we need to, we can switch to that hybrid 6-2 to where I stack up at any point in the game if we just need an extra attacker in that front row. It's a super good rotation we have.
So I believe generally in volleyball you have 3 players at the front, 3 in the back, with then generally a mix in between.
See, if you're going to say that, you've got to say it without that kind of.
Well, I was
in between.
Of course, and was also looking like he wanted to hop in on the question.
Okay,
so I was gonna.
He's got that look on his face.
Yeah, I was gonna also let him.
Okay.
It's very easy. Sadie Spray's really good, and she can play anywhere on the court at any time.
Anywhere that Shelley Duvall wants her to play or needs her to play on this Great Bend Panther volleyball team that is 4-0. They're heading to Riley County. The Riley County tournament coming up this weekend. Shelley Duvall running down who they will be playing. So looking forward to them heading east and see how they do in this tournament. It's been a pretty tough one over the years.
And I check those scores every time they go out because I enjoy seeing them, especially when they're winning both sets. It's always fun to see how long this thing's going to last.
Got a good group of seniors, and hopefully Great Bend Volleyball keeps the momentum rolling.
They'll take on St. Mary's to start their day on Saturday at 9 o'clock. Head coach of the Lacrosse Leopards, John Webster, a guest yesterday on Sports Day. They'll take on Victoria tomorrow night in Lacrosse. Victoria losing their season opener to Kinsley. Lacrosse beating Otis Bison. And John Webster talking about they've got 24 out. Good numbers for Lacrosse. Of course, they used to have like 18, 17, and they still play 11-man football. But going to the 8-man brand, I think this is their third year of 8-man, maybe 4, something like that. But a good ball game tomorrow night. John Webster likes his freshmen and sophomores.
Seems like they're in a similar boat to Great Bend. They got a quality group of seniors in there, maybe a smaller bunch than typical, but really relying on some contributions from younger guys. And go Lacrosse Leopards too. Maybe more interviews from the lunchroom.
Does Victoria, do they all come down on the hogs? You know how they used to rev them up before the games up there? Did they just bring them down on the road?
I don't think they allow them in town.
Good call.
Yeah.
They're very loud.
No, just don't let them in town unless they try sneaking in like through the fairgrounds over there, something like that. So, yeah, the home games for Victoria, that's interesting.
I don't know that it's been so long since I've been up there,
they still do it. Oh,
Sweet.
yeah. They have all the motorcycles and Harleys, and that's how you come out on the field. Some people use Sandman, other people use motorcycles.
To each their own.
Will Howard talking about taking on Troy tomorrow. Team that had a great year a year ago in the Sun Belt, said they're going to be a really good challenge. Now, I could see a player from Colorado here, if they keep winning, like in about week 4, they'll come on and say, they're coming into town. We're going to walk all over them. But Will Howard being very respectful to Troy. Troy not as good as they were last year. Cats should not have too much problem in this game. Scheduled for 11 a.m. Saturday morning on FS1.
I think last year's Tulane game maybe is still holding the Cats down to earth. It was kind of a shocker at the start of last year, and now they're not overlooking anybody because they know the humiliation of getting
Tulane
shocked by someone.
turned out that they had a pretty good year.
It was a
last
very
year,
good, less of a shocker at the end of the
Yes.
year than at the beginning for sure.
Do we have enough weight that we can email game day and tell them, cut your broadcast by 11 o'clock so I can flip it over? Now they go to 11:05. It's going to be 11:07.
Well, you missed the kickoff. It might be 14-0 by then.
But you got to watch the headgear.
Okay, Big 12 gets going tomorrow. Illinois at Kansas. We will have that game for you starting at 6 coverage here on KVGB. That's because Larned and Lions will be on Hits 106.9 tomorrow. And then other games of note, I was like Iowa and Iowa State. That's a good in-state rivalry game. That kicks off at 2:30. Other notables, Oregon at Texas Tech. 6 o'clock kickoff. We'll have that game for you here on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Royals play early on Saturday. And Texas at Alabama.
Some good football this weekend.
Very excited for Texas at Alabama. The Longhorns almost upset Alabama last year. Quinn Ewers actually ended up getting knocked out of that game a little early. I'd be interested to see what the Longhorns can do this year. Would be a shock, but Alabama not coming in as highly touted. I bet it's going to be a motivated Crimson Tide squad.
I think they'll be motivated plenty. Yes.
We'll go back to Iowa. Just saw a list of the best college football traditions in the country. Iowa turning around to wave at the hospital, number 1, the Children's Hospital. I like that.
I saw Kinnick Stadium one time.
Where were you?
K-State women up playing at Iowa at Hawkeye Carver Arena. So we get there plenty early, right? So I walked down. It's a long street, kind of downhill, and there was a gate open. So I walked in and went in, and there was like a sheet of ice over the whole field. But I was there, Mike.
And you scored
was there.
more points that day than they scored all of last season.
The race for Iowa to score 325 points is on. Brian Ferenz, the hot seat's cooking. Your dad can't save you forever.
Okay, there you go. All right, Chiefs tonight taking on the Detroit Lions. But before we get to that, Chris Jones telling everyone yesterday in an appearance he needs a raise. Okay, well, he needs a raise. Go talk to the management and then fulfill the final year of your contract. He will not be there tonight. Let's see.
Is there a drinking game that we can play tonight? Every time they say Chris Jones, we will make it to kickoff.
I'm gonna say it depends on if you're definitely not making it to halftime. You're gonna be feeling pretty good by the time kickoff gets around. If you're every time they mention Chris Jones, good night.
Clark Hunt talking about Travis Kelce. Is he going to play tonight? Why couldn't he be just like the owners of old? Say, yes, he's going to play tonight. I don't care if he's got to drag himself out there or not. I don't care if he plays in 4 years. I just want him to play tonight.
I think we have the NFL Players Union to thank for that.
Yeah, them guys. And Alex Smith this morning on ESPN Radio, the one thing Patrick Mahomes doesn't do well. I'd never thought about that. That little run.
Oh, he does look a little wacky. He does kind of look like a duck when he does it.
That's one of the reasons I like him. He's not your typical alpha. So when you see him doing that, you're like, who's this clown? But when he needs to run, he's actually a really good runner, not to mention the passing. So it's
even on a bum ankle.
It's even better on a bum ankle.
He had that scramble late in the Super Bowl last year in the fourth quarter. That was kind of the duck waddle, but
yeah,
he had a bad web foot in that game.
I think Alex Smith is an excellent guy to ask about what he doesn't do well, and he probably saw that in practice and noticed Mahomes does a weird little trot out there, and he's just been holding on to that one in the back pocket.
Who wins?
Kansas City.
Bigger than the spread. Isn't the spread like 3 points?
It was 5.5 until they found out Kelsey wasn't or might not play.
I'd give him 11.
Okay, you set the line, so people are going to start coming down the alley here before long to place their bets. When does the trash can open? Are we moving it up this year to 6 p.m. on Thursday night? Probably this year for sure. Yeah, come on down.
The hype around the Chiefs is huge. We got to make sure people can get their guesses in.
Okay, Corson's line's 11.
It's still Detroit.
But the Chiefs never beat anybody bad.
It's Detroit.
I wouldn't go that far. I could see it.
You're overlooking Detroit, Mike.
Detroit's going to be better than a lot of people remember Detroit being.
Huh? Hey, I gave the Royals 87 wins this year. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Patrick Mahomes is going to run for his life because we all know about the Detroit Lions. We all know about their defensive line. Alex Karras is unbelievable coming off the edge.
High motor.
Yes. And just because I played the wrong one, here is our final sounds the past 24 hours.
2-2, hammered to deep left. It is gone. He almost did the same exact thing Robert did, but he hit it higher. Andrew Vaughn with a go-ahead 2-run shot. It's 3-2.
Don't rub your head, Mike. It's okay. Andrew Vaughn had in a home run to left last night. The Royals fall to 44-97 on the year as they fall to the White Sox. Okay, there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. Sports headlines. Barton volleyball looking really good. Got up to number 20 in the country. Then go to Dodge City and lose last night in straight sets to the Lady Conks. 25-15, 25-19, and 25-23. Panther soccer, we'll be talking with Chewy Loera. He'll be happy. 8-3 they win last night over Wichita Homeschool. A couple other headlines. Kim Mulkey inked a $32 million 10-year deal with LSU to coach basketball. Good for her.
10 years, huh?
Yeah, she's won national championships at LSU. And this is interesting because I've always said this. Okay, a study. They probably got federal funding for this. A study finds influence of smaller jersey numbers on perception. For decades, some NFL wide receivers have said they look better when they wear low numbers compared to the traditional range of 80 to 89. Now, there's scientific research to back up that seemingly superficial sentiment. A peer-reviewed study by UCLA researchers found the perception can be influenced by the associations made between numbers and size through the brain's cognitive process. The study, which will be published this week in the journal PLOS ONE, exposed subjects to images of different football jersey numbers to measure their perception of the person wearing it. The smaller the number, the more likely the subject was to perceive a slimmer player. I'm glad they came out with this because everyone knows that. At Tabor, man, I was slower than anybody, but you know what my number was? 6.
And it made you see. It makes a lot of sense. I didn't actually look just that hefty in my jersey. I was just wearing number 76.
76.
Yeah.
If you're wearing number 76, you're automatically 5'3" in the 40.
That's given me a little bit too. Even for sure, my sophomore and junior year might have gotten it up a little bit senior. But
Sometimes I wake up and say, oh, man, why haven't they cured cancer yet? Oh, got this
The Stowe and go, because that's why the problem was, especially when you played like defensive end and you were number 6, and you were on the kickoff team, you try an onside kick, and one of the up guys pick it up, and he's like number 67, and you've got a chance to run him down from behind, and 67 pulls away from 6 as the guy from Bethany rolls into the end zone for a run-back onside kick touchdown.
I can't think of any examples, but I do like to see my wideouts with a number 1 or a number 5 especially.
They look faster.
Yeah.
What if you put a guy
I
out
like
there?
that 5.
But see, that's something you could do. Maybe you put Ian Premer out there in number, well, they got the
14
numbers
looks
rules.
pretty.
Yeah.
14 looks pretty good on Premer.
It does, but what if you put him out there with 77?
The Luka Doncic.
Oh, they'd be right up on him, right? I'm just getting right up in his face.
They
He just
can't
moves
let
around him.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll talk to Coach Beck about that coming up. Chiefs picks coming up at the end of the show today. How many games are going to win? We're going to talk Panther football coming up next with Aaron Beck, Ian Premer, and Colton Brock here on Sports Day on KVGB.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Barton Community College is excited to announce the expansion of the welding program with an Associate of Applied Science degree and a 2-semester certificate. With our expanded offerings, you'll gain knowledge in welding techniques, safety procedures, blueprint reading, and more. Get hands-on training from Barton faculty with industry experience, ensuring you develop the skills needed to excel in your career. Now enrolling. Learn more at welding.bartoncccc.edu.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
It's Panther football time on Sports Day as we present Great Bend football coach Aaron Beck. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day. Yeah, we've got a rather large game coming up tomorrow. It'll be the Great Bend Panthers taking on the Hayes High Indians at Lewis Field Stadium. Head coach Aaron Beck joining us today. Hi, Coach. Ian Premer back in here, and Colton Brock. Welcome into the studio, guys. We're going to talk about the game, but this study thing has got me intrigued here, that they spent money on this, that UCLA researchers found the perception of if you have a low number, the perception is you're faster, and if you have a high number, they think you're slow. Well, that's – so we were thinking maybe that Colton and Ian, I mean, put him 77, 74, and those guys had come right up on him. And then you just come out and they just blow right by him because it's a 74 or a 77. I don't know if they'd be eligible to go downfield in that scenario, but I don't know. Your thoughts on that? Didn't you want to wear a low number when you were playing football, Aaron?
Yeah, wasn't that kind of the cool thing to do, I guess?
Well, yeah. You
Definitely
don't,
when you're young, yeah.
You don't want to be like 39.
It's kind of an interesting concept because, you know, Ian wears 14. It's not a real popular number
but
in football, but it's more a stance that we've been cracking up about. He kind of lures them defensive backs to sleep going, what? How is he standing? And then he takes off and goes by him. So,
Colton, you ever go out there and like limping, you know, like you hurt your ankle?
Not
Yeah,
really.
really?
No.
Okay, well, just
Not
try
really.
that. Try that. Just take off downfield. Okay. 1-0, Coach. Congratulations. Good win over McPherson. Good start. You showed that, but it's tradition right now, right? That 6 straight games now, you rally from behind. I got that nugget from
yeah, that one felt a little different. That one didn't quite really feel like any kind of rally comeback. I mean, I know obviously they made that field goal to take the lead, but
right.
It was so early in the third quarter that these kids and coaches, everybody kind of knew we were going to just settle in and be just fine in that one. Like I kind of told them on the ride over here, it's always fun to get that first one to beat a team like McPherson, but we're kind of just trying to move on, focus at the task at hand now, and it's on to Hayes, and that's kind of how these guys have been all week.
I know you going into that first week, you just wondering, okay, what are we going to do? What's it going to be like? You're always thinking about and you guys got off to a great start.
Yeah, that was key. Defensively to come out and shut them down and make them punt, that was something we didn't do the last time we played them. So to get them to get it back to us and then not take too long and be able to hit him over the top to this guy sitting next to me was a nice way to start the game.
Tell me about the pattern.
Well,
Ian.
I just went by him, and then Daxton hit me.
You went out and you were limping, right? And then you
my stance, he was wondering what's he doing, and then by the time he realized I was by him.
What's the stance you're talking about, Coach?
I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't explain.
You can't. You'll just have to look for it on Friday.
So what the best part is coaches, kids, everybody was trying to help him fix it, and I finally just said, guys, enough is enough. He's just fine. Leave him alone. Let's just have him keep playing the way he's playing. He'll be just fine.
Okay, that'll be good. How big of throw was that for Dax just to come out and connect right there? You know, you're coming in, everybody's talking, the quarterback, what's he going to do? And that had to make him relax a little bit, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely a competitor that thrives off those type of situations. And I think everybody in the stands, I know my wife told me right after the game, she called that we were going to run that play after seeing the way they aligned to our formation. So I think he knew he wanted it. Ian wanted it. My wife Cindy wanted it. So it was one of those that it was a nice connection.
And then you drive downfield, you had the fumble, but he just kept coming back. It wasn't any big deal. It didn't seem like.
Yeah, we stalled a little bit. We had a little bit of difficulties running the football on them in their 4-4, and we knew going in when teams load the box up like that, it's tough, especially with a young offensive line. A defense that was getting in different shades for our guys up front caused a little bit of confusion and really tightened down the seams for Cody. And I know he was frustrated, obviously, to have a fumble like that, but I thought he was very patient. And he got some big runs when we needed him late in that game. And I thought that was kind of the difference going down the stretch was to be able to run the ball effectively out of our one-back set was nice once we could spread them out.
Colton, you had a TD too. Tell me about the play. Dax rolling out. And did you yell at him? Say, hey, look right back, because he kind of looked back and hit you right perfectly.
I think I did yell. So basically, just block the end man so Daxton can get out, sprint out, and then I kind of just slip out, find a spot of green grass, and just sit down in there, make some noise.
That was a good way to start the season. And want to know, Coach? Now we head up north tomorrow. It's one of the ones that's circled for a lot of folks on the schedule right now.
Yeah, coming into the season, that was kind of our goals is to open up the season to beat Mac, beat Hayes, and we'll talk about the third one later. But now it's on to number 2, and these guys have had our number the last few years, so I know these guys are very hungry to head up there for a rivalry game here in week 2.
Okay, Colton, they call you granddad on this team, or is he like the old guy or something like that, or?
Yeah, I get a little bit of that. I've just been at my position for about my whole career, so I know it pretty good. Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
You're like shorty on this team.
Yeah.
As far as the wide receivers
there's
go.
We got a lot of tall wide receivers out with us.
Talk about the summer, getting prepared for this season, and now you got it under your belt. We got to talk about everything leading in once you start, in the summer and going team camp, stuff like that, to lead up to this first game.
Well, we all had a good mindset. We were hungry. We weren't satisfied with last season. So just lifting as much as we could, getting stronger, getting faster, keeping our eyes on the prize, just keep going. Hopefully we can do better than last season. That was our goal.
Okay, so off to a good start on that. Ian, talk about your summer. You're busy with all kinds of things, and of course football, weights, and getting ready to get ready for that first game. How'd your summer go?
It was good. A lot of basketball, a little football and baseball too, and then just getting in Monday through Thursday, lifting to get stronger. It's just really going to help through all 3 sports this year.
Okay, and fall camp starts this year. What was it like for you this year? You know, you're a grizzled sophomore now.
Yeah, it was more like, I don't want to say boring, but like I already knew the stuff, so I was just able to build on that and get a further understanding of everything we want to do offensively and defensively. So just adding more knowledge.
Got to talk to Matthew Johnson last week on the program, and he was really jacked about. And you can tell he's got a little pride in his senior class and his fellow seniors that are on the team.
Yep. Yeah, we've been playing football together since 4th grade. We're all pretty good, pretty close friends, and we just know everyone can get the job done and handle their responsibilities. We have a lot of trust in each other.
What's Hayes mean to you?
It just upsets me thinking about it. It just...
You've played probably against these guys, what, since 3rd or 4th grade?
4th grade, yeah. Back then, they'd get us one year, we'd get them the next, and last couple of years they've got us, and we're ready to go get them.
Okay.
It's time.
What have you seen on film this week that you'll have to be ready for?
Me personally, there's a Myers kid. He's a hanger on defense, outside linebacker. He's going to come hard, going to come a lot, and I got to pick him up and make sure to handle him.
Okay, I always like to get the perspective because, play gets called, break huddle, here we go. What are you looking for?
Well, kind of going back to that granddad thing, I kind of already know, what's going to happen to some extent.
Uh-huh.
So usually, I know where I need to be, where I need to block him to make a gap for Cody to just do what he does. So you got to watch his stance, see if he's in a sprinter stance ready to blitz, or if he's kind of just floating back just to tell what, they're going to do. So,
Aaron, how valuable it to have a kid as versatile as Colton on your team?
And we kind of do joke around with him because it does feel like he's played a lot of snaps, but he's a very smart football player. For a kid that we kind of joke with him, he doesn't watch a ton of football, but he knows football, and he knows his assignment. He knows what we're trying to do and how we're trying to move him around. And at the snap of the ball, we can put him about anywhere, and if I signal in what the play is, he knows where he needs to get. And that's pretty special to have when we start just doing because we try to do a lot of different motions to try to confuse a lot of, just window dressing on a play, and you can do it when you got kids like Colton.
Ian, we'll take you over to the defensive side. What are you looking as that other team either lines up or breaks the huddle coming to the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, so first I want to see how many receivers are on each side, or if they have a tight end or an H-back, just to see where I want to set up or what coverage we want to be in. And then depending on how far the receiver's out, that changes my positioning and how much further I go out, or if I stay back, if it's 3rd and 15 or 3rd and long, or if it's 3rd and 3, then I scoot up a bit. It's just always moving my alignment.
How different is it this year to be just know those things and just it's like automatic instead of trying to take it A, B, C, D?
It's a lot easier. And then when I'm watching film from McPherson and Hayes, I notice my positioning's wrong right away. I don't have to think about where I should have been. I just know now, which is going to be a big advantage for the next 3 years.
Thoughts on this matchup tomorrow night with Hayes?
Well, we saw a 4-man front last week, and we see it again this week, so I think we should do a good job against that. They run McPherson was a 4-4, and they're a 4-3, so a little adjustment, but I think we'll be able to handle their front good. And Daxton's slinging the ball right now, so just...
How much confidence you have in your quarterback? And it looks like the quarterback has a lot of confidence in you guys.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball really good right now. He's been throwing it good all summer. Washburn camp, through practice. Yeah, he's playing really good.
Talk about just going back to Coach Beckholt and just, the different things that you get to do. Is that kind of exciting? You get to do a lot of different things?
Yeah, it does. It does feel pretty special. Just being able to do so many different things. I kind of feel like it takes a little bit of pressure off of him, just for him not to have to worry about is he going to be able to do this, or will he remember? So just trying to be the best team player feel like it takes a lot of pressure off of him.
Traditional question when the guys come in on Thursday, what are you feeling right now here? A little bit over 24 hours away, Cole.
A little bit anxious, but you gotta keep it under control. You can't get too wound up too fast, because then 7 o'clock tomorrow you're just gonna be emptied. So you gotta keep it under control till about 6:30, 6:45, and then you just let it go.
All right, grizzled veteran Ian Premer, what are you thinking right now?
I wish the game was tonight. I'm ready to play.
Exactly, man. This is neat. These are the game. It's week 2, I know, but Aaron, this is a big boy game tomorrow night.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, Hayes is a team that the last few seasons they've had a really good defense and relied heavily on their run game. And this team is no different. And that will be that'll be the keys of the game. Can we slow down Malik Ball, because he's who makes that team go. I mean, 40 carries last week for them. That's pretty unheard of. So we got to make sure, hopefully, we can limit them and try to make them beat us in another dimension of the game. And then defensively, they're just so solid. They're sound. They line up correctly. They get to the ball. Those type of things. They don't move a ton. They don't do a lot that way, but they're just very good at their scheme. So can we take advantage of some of the opportunities when we have them? When it's our time to make a play, we got to have these guys make those plays. So right now, I love our team. I love our kids. I love our players that we have on Friday nights. It makes, like you said, it makes play calling a lot easier. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to watch these guys play.
What are you feeling right now? We've got practice this afternoon. We got more stuff to do.
That's exactly right. I was going to echo what Ian said. I'm glad the game is not tonight. We still need one more day of practice here. So I know I'll be ready by this time tomorrow.
I just like get it in the minds of coaches. So before you go out there that last time, I mean, you address your team. Is that something you think about what you want to say, or is it just something that you feel at the time?
No, I usually try to put a little bit of thought into it and try to do what I can to help motivate these guys before we go out. But usually they're pretty locked in. They're usually ready to run through the brick wall regardless of what I say. So I know that will be the case tomorrow. This one will be pretty easy to get these kids up for.
Man, great to have you guys in studio. Good luck tomorrow night, Coach Beck. Thank you very much. And, man, we'll be celebrating one next week. How about that?
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Thanks, Colton. Thanks, Ian. And that's head coach Aaron Beck here with us on Sports Day. Brought to you in part by Equity Bank, adding value for their customers and communities. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoyston, and Larned. See the locations tab at equitybank.com for more locations. And Eller Automotive Repair, local mechanic that can help, behind Great Bend Appliance Furniture and Sleep Source. Sports Day rolling on right after this.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Get the power you need for your farm equipment. The power of peace of mind that dependable Cenex lubricants deliver. With decades of proven off-road performance backed by the industry-leading Cenex Total Protection Plan warranty. Cenex heavy-duty diesel engine oils, hydraulic fluids, gear lubricants, and greases are formulated to provide superior protection for load-bearing equipment. The power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
This man can teach, coach, broadcast, and even auction off your estate. Sports Day presents one half of the Larned Dynamic Duo broadcast team. The voice of the Indians, Gary Wagner.
Yes, he is our Swiss Army knife, and he's with us right now. Gary Wagner joining us here in advance of the Larned Indians taking on Lions tomorrow night. And welcome to the program, Wags.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here.
Okay, season got underway. Not an easy task. Earl Roberts Field with a new look on Friday night, taking on the Pratt Greenbacks. How was it?
Well, you know, it was a beautiful night, and it's really nice to have all that brand new nice facility. I heard somebody say, though, the other day that a $10 bat does not, or a $100 bat doesn't fix a $10 swing. And you know, I don't think getting new turf or anything was. I don't think anybody thought that was going to perform miracles and make us an undefeated team this season. But I think there is some enthusiasm on the team. I think there's some enthusiasm in the school. Yeah, it's a disappointing loss, 48-12. But you know, it's just one of those deals where, you know, you also have a brand new set of coaches. You also have, you know, a brand new set of kids. So I think that week 2 at Lions gives us a chance to, you know, make some improvements in the areas we needed to improve. Even to another, you know, there's so many options that they can run off of that. You know, it's not flashy, and you know, teams that run that generally aren't the most exciting to watch unless you like to win. And it seems like everybody that runs that kind of stuff generally is pretty successful. And yeah, they just kind of run it at you and dare you to stop them.
But a lot of teams that run this type of, they don't throw like Pratt does. Max Yanni, man, he threw for 155 and ran for 4 touchdowns. Pretty good night for that young man.
Yeah, I mean, we said it during the broadcast. He's just kind of a man among boys out there. You know, he's got speed, he's got size, he can throw the football. You know, just you talk about a Swiss Army knife. He is one. You know, he just can do he can do everything for them. But he's not the only guy. You know, they've got some other guys that good receivers. You know, that was a game of big plays. I think the first 4 or 5 touchdowns total in the game to start the game were all over 40 yards, and one of them was a 1-yard touchdown a little later, and that was after a 70-yard run. So it was a game of big plays. It was just so happened that Pratt had way more of those big plays than the Indians did.
Okay, 48-12. I'll ask you one of those coaches' questions here, Wags. So give me some positives that you saw from this Larned squad.
You know, I thought that the skill positions are pretty skilled. I think that, you know, I guess one surprise for me was Larned using Ty Smith as a receiver. Had a really nice possession for first down in the first half, just, you know, getting down to the necessary yardage, making a nice catch along the sideline. You know, that short passing game is something that Mr. Tabor and I have been begging for for 20 plus years. It just doesn't seem to be very something that very many coaches are wanting to do, and it just seems like that's an opportunity there. And we think of Ty Smith as a big bruiser. He's a great linebacker on defense, but to see a kid like that, be able to run a solid route, keep you a possession, get you a first down, I really like that. I think the concerns are the line. The lines were getting pushed around a little bit. Carson Shaver didn't have a lot of time to throw. When he did, he was accurate. But when he didn't, things didn't go so great.
Defensively, Pratt, again, that's such a tough Houston figured that out, a couple years ago. Tough team to open up with. But defensively for the Indians, what did you see there?
Well, I thought that we probably played a little bit better defensively than we did last year. Last year they hung, I think, 67 points on us. So I thought that just being able to kind of manage that draw out some drives a little bit longer. There's, like I said, some concern along the line. We didn't really have too many opportunities to put pressure on them when they were throwing the football. But I thought our tackling was pretty good when we were able to, get to their ball carriers. I thought we were pretty solid there. I think there's just schematically a few things that they want to tweak a little bit. And like I said, when you open up with a team like Pratt, and like you said, it's kind of tough right out of the gate. But I think we'll see a lot of improvement in the next 2-3 weeks.
Okay, Lions lost to Nickerson in a low-scoring game, and one thing about Lions, especially the past couple of years, they've kind of changed that culture over there with a former Larned middle school coach at the helm. But what do you think about Lions tomorrow night?
Oh, Coach Nolan's going to have those guys juiced. He always does, and kids want to play for a guy like that. He makes it fun. He's not afraid to throw some wrinkles at you and do what it takes to try to win a football game. And I think kids enjoy that. I think kids like those opportunities to maybe run a trick play or something like that. So I would expect to see some things like that out of Carl. It's and of course just having been associated with the Larned program gives him a little extra juice to want to have his kids play well. So they'll be prepared. There's certainly no doubt about that. And it's I think in the recent history is you go to Lions and you think you're going to win. Well, after losing by 36 points, I don't think Larned can go in anywhere and think they're going to win. They got to go out and play football.
I know a lot of excitement last week or this week has been the middle school team. Looking forward to seeing them play tonight. They came off a pretty impressive win over Hoisington last Thursday on the road. So that got a little bit of excitement going in the Indian community.
Yeah, it's always good to see those younger kids and what they're running. And I think Coach Keith is going to have his hand in that program some. I think he wants to make sure that when he gets those kids as freshmen, they know the terminology. They know the things that the high school staff is expecting of them. And, that just takes a huge burden off of the coaches and off the kids, really, when they come into the varsity program. And, if you can get some more kids and start playing a better JV schedule and maybe even a freshman schedule like we used to, boy, I think that's one thing that's really hurt Larned football is just not having enough kids to play a freshman schedule. They used to play 6 or 8 freshman games, freshman-only games back when I came here, and we just haven't been able to do that. In fact, there's been a lot of times where freshmen were starters on Friday night because they just didn't have anybody else. So, hopefully the new facilities, the new coaching staff can get a little more interest in football, and maybe we can get those numbers up to where we're able to do that once in a while.
All right, the Eagle ESOP wants to know, Gary Wagner, where are you eating tomorrow night? I mean, what are the plans?
Let's see. Generally it's a Dairy Queen run when you're in Lyons. There used to be a couple of places, but some of our regular haunts are no longer there. So, sometimes you just have to stay with what you know. Larned used to have a Dairy Queen, and so when we roll into a town that has one, we get kind of nostalgic, and got to get Bud his Dilly Bar or something like that.
Okay, all right. That sounds reasonable. No steakhouse or
Is that,
anything like
is that
that.
okay? The bean counter's okay with that?
I think we'll go on that. Not the $4 limit will be on you guys again. So, but you've never followed that
strictly
before.
enforced.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Wags, appreciate it. Have a good call tomorrow night, and hopefully we can talk about a win next week.
All right. Thank you.
Gary Wagner, voice of the Larned High School Indians, with us today on
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Barton Community College helped me get a jump start on college with early college opportunities. With Barton's help, I earned my degree at the same time I graduated from high school. You can take classes on campus, online, and even at your high school with teachers you already know. With tuition rates starting at $50 per credit hour for select Kansas high school audiences and scholarship opportunities, it is easier than ever. Barton Community College helped me get one step closer to my dream, and it can help you too. Learn more at highschool.bartonccc.edu.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
There's nothing like A-STEM therapy. This is Tim Marcus from Progressive Physical Therapy in Hayes. Research shows that A-STEM therapy improves muscle performance and neural functioning. It's highly effective for those dealing with tennis elbow, carpal tunnel, sports injuries, and general aches and pains.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by some Panther soccer players and the new all-time winningest coach in program history, Chuy Loera, and we've got seniors Gus Alvarado and Pedro Enriquez. How we doing, fellas?
Pretty good. How are you?
Excited.
We are good. 2-1. You guys had 2 wins last year, 3 games into the season, 2 wins this year. As players this year, what are the expectations for you guys? Gus.
The expectations have always been the same for us. For us senior this year, our expectations are to win regionals and see how we do in state. But that's still long ahead of the season. Right now, all we're focusing on is our Titan Classic Championship on Saturday.
Pedro, how about you?
Well, Gus summed it up pretty well, but I think that we want to get to state and we want to see how we can compete with those other teams, especially with the season that we had last year. We want to see if we can make a comeback.
And Coach, no, it's not a huge thing for you, but obviously it is for the record books. All-time winning coach came in 1 or 2 shy, and we talked earlier on when you might get it. 3 games in, how nice to have that out of the question.
Yeah, it's nice to get that early and be able to move on to now let's pile on the wins and add to it. Make it that much more difficult for the next coach.
And we'll go back to game 1. So you guys are 3 games in, opened it up with against a tough WACFO and Liberal, 10-0. What happened in that game, guys?
Well, we went on with 10 players on the field, starting like the first maybe 14 minutes. It was pretty tough. Liberals pretty well-rounded all around. But having that one less player does take accountability to our team because with Liberal being one of the top teams in our WAC, being down a man, it's pretty difficult to compete with.
And Pedro, I know going in, it's Dodge City, Liberal, Garden City. Always want to stack up against those guys. When you see that in game 1, even if you're a man down, it's 10-0. how do you bounce back mentally for the rest of the season?
I mean, a lot of it is just building confidence and getting back and winning some games. But we know those are some tough matches that we're gonna have to play against. But we just have to bounce back and work hard and practice.
So then we will go to the Titan Classic in Wichita. Open it up with Wichita West. You know who scored your 1 goal in regulation, Coach?
Alex Alcala.
So it's 1-1, goes to penalty kicks. You say, 14 penalty kicks?
I think we went 13 for 14 with 3 rounds. With each round is, of course, 5 shooters. And so we went 3 rounds, and finally were able to get it on the 14th shot.
And I watched a lot of World Cup, the Women's World Cup this summer, and lots of penalty kicks. On the field for you guys, what's that like as it keeps going on and on and on?
I mean, it's nerve-wracking, but, I mean, as you get closer, your heart starts beating a little faster, but once you see it go in, I mean, it's just a relief.
And Gus, tell me about the approach, because what are we talking? Is it 12 yards out?
Yeah, about 10. It's supposed to be 10, but it just depends on on grass, you just never know. Maybe they might draw it at 9 yards.
So the goal looks really big when you're that low, but we've seen lots of people, professionals, kick it over, kick it sideways, kick it right at the keeper. What's the approach and mindset just to make yours go in?
You just really have to keep your composure, look the keeper straight in the eyes, and just put it behind the net and rely on your keeper to make a save.
And Pedro, when you go, do you know as soon as you step up there, I'm going right or left, or are you reading anything that keeper's giving you?
You see, I just think about whether I'm going to go down the middle or if I'm going to choose a side. But I usually choose the side when the keeper steps, because they usually jump a little before we take a shot.
Anybody ever try the middle one? Actually try it?
Yeah, in the summer I did.
And you're just hoping that the goalie commits to left or right?
Yeah, I mean, you can see them jump. You can see them getting ready to jump, so you just shoot it down the middle.
And we'll go to the second round of the Titan Classic against Wichita Homeschool, 8-3 win. How fun, coach or players, to be on a side where not so much dramatics and lots of scoring?
Yeah, it was fun to watch these boys. I mean, we put a lot into the preparation as far as the scouting and trying to understand what our roles were going to be. And from advancement from last year, now we're trying to understand our opponent. And I think we had a really good understanding of our opponent as far as their strengths and their weaknesses and what we needed to do to have success. And these guys applied it from the first minute and carried it all the way through. And it was fun as a coach and as a fan. It was a lot of fun to watch.
And Gus, kind of talking before the show, possession's really big in soccer, and so is timing. Kind of a new squad this year, or just getting back 3 games in. Where are you at in the process of getting comfortable with that stuff?
I'd say 3 games in, we're starting to really figure it out, our passing patterns with our attacking mids and our 6. I feel like we've had really good success leading up to this point, and I feel like we continue to grow on that.
Pedro, you guys got a 3 o'clock championship game Saturday in Wichita against Wichita North. Expectations for that one?
It's going to be a tough game, but I know that, I mean, if we go out there and try our hardest, whether it's a big team or a small team, we know as long as we try, we're going to do our best. And sometimes it doesn't matter if we win or lose as long as we know that we did everything that we could.
Pedro, we'll keep it here with you. You're a defender, so obviously offsides is big. And I don't know that we had a defender in last year. Maybe we did, but explain what a defender's role is and maybe setting a trap or knowing where that last offender is to put them in offside positions.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's really up to the center backs, to the last defender. But, I mean, if I see them pushing up really high and I see someone beside me that's behind me, I never let them know they're offside. And sometimes I may even run up, try to get them on offside trap in it. I think it worked in the Wichita West. We did that a couple times.
Coach, 2-1, what's your take on getting out of this tournament and looking back into some of those tough league competitions?
Yeah, just continue to build every game. I mean, we still got more improvement to do. We're happy with the 8-3 win. We're happy with the last results from the last couple of games. But just understanding that there's still room for improvement, and it's I think that's my favorite part of last week's win or yesterday's win, that even though we won at a comfortable margin, we can still get better, and that's exactly what we want to continue to do.
Well, guys, I think 3 o'clock Saturday is supposed to be like one of the last hot days, so good luck to you.
Yeah, we'll hydrate and we'll be ready.
Coach Chuy Loera, now the all-time winningest coach in Great Bend soccer history. Seniors Gus Alvarado and Pedro Enriquez. 2-1, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
More sports day after this.
At Next Tech Wireless, it's wireless on your terms. You pick a 36, 24, or 18-month agreement and get a device on us like the iPhone 14, or the new Google Pixel 7. Stuck in a contract with your current provider? Switch now and get up to $1,000 per line. For more details, stop by your nearest Next-Tech Wireless location today or call or text our customer care team at 877-621-2600. Next-Tech Wireless, home on the range.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Amy Herrera, Regional Retail Manager for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many people navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how we're committed to serving you in our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
All right, boys, going to have to go fast here. Chiefs and Lions tonight. I believe, who was the defending champion last year, Hesh?
We do have to congratulate Dr. Webster. You are the winner with that 13-4 mark. So, yes.
No, I said 14-3.
No, I got it right here, dude. 13-4.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well, I'll take
circled.
that. Okay.
13-4.
My prediction this year. You got them written
I got
down?
a pen.
Okay, all right. I've got it 12-5.
I got 12-5.
I also had 12-5.
Uh-oh.
Hesh?
And you wonder why I wanted a tiebreaker system. Well, you know me, Dr. Doom, 11-6.
Okay, 11-6.
What was Cole?
Cole Rife, 12-5.
Oh, 4 people at 12-5.
Jim Mizunas, 13-4.
Ooh.
Optimist.
And he said one of those losses was against the Bears.
Wow. Wild card.
I think they'll lose to the Broncos.
At least once.
My division record's 6-0. They're not. No, it's
okay. 6-0. All right.
I got 28-10 tonight. I'll see you at the trash can.
4-2 for my division record.
Okay.
That's what I had also. We'll have to get
So
more
you're
specific.
still going 11 on that?
That's 18.
Man, the ESOP will be broke by tomorrow if you go with that. Man, I'm going under, man. It's
going to be, I'm thinking like a 4-point game. I think 3.5 is an excellent spread for it.
It'll be the way it always is. The Chiefs get a lead, and then they'll come down, and the Chiefs offense will have the ball, and they'll run the clock out the last 3 minutes. And
Andy Reid does his fireworks early. He doesn't need them at the end of the game.
Be a lot of excitement.
See who's right, see who's wrong. Tomorrow on Sports Day on KVGB.